Good evening, friends. Welcome to the Creative Sagittarius. This is our podcast, Bharat and Geopolitics. Our today's topic is the Election Insight 2024, and we are going to focus on the state of Telangana. Join us as we delve into the heart of democracy and unravel the intricacy of the political landscape in this vibrant state. From key issues shaping the electoral discourse to the strategies of major players, our journey promises to offer valuable insight, thought-provoking discussions. So buckle up and get ready to explore the power of dynamics at play in the state of Telangana. Thank you for tuning in. Let me introduce you to today's distinguished speaker, Sri Giridhar Mamidi ji. Giridhar Mamidi ji is a CA and BCom LLB. He has been working for large MNCs, including Google India and ADP India. Currently, he is working for Pragati Bharati Telangana as the state vice president and also for Samalochana Andhra Pradesh as a convener. He is also a panelist on several TV debates on social, political, cultural, religious, economic, and strategic affairs. Giridhar Mamidi ji has completed 140 plus episodes of the special weekly program Global Roundup, analyzing world affairs from a nationalist perspective in Telugu on Nationalist Hub Channel. So welcome Giridhar Mamidi ji, welcome to Creative Sagittarius.
Thank you. Namaste, Hariji. My pranams, namaskar to you and your audience. Jai Shri Ram, Har Har Mahadev, and Jai Shri Krishna.
जय श्री राम हर हर महादेव जय श्री कृष्ण। तो गिरधर मामिनी जी, आज हम लोगों ने पिछली बार बात किया था आंध्र प्रदेश के बारे में, आज हम लोग तेलंगाना के बारे में बात करते हैं। तो हमारे सवाल ऑलमोस्ट वही हैं जो हमने आंध्र प्रदेश के बारे में देखा था। आज हम लोग उसी सवालों को देखेंगे कि तेलंगाना स्टेट में क्या पोजीशन है। So coming to my first question, how does BJP plan to address the regional sentiment and aspirations in Telangana, given its predominantly North Indian origin and the dominance of regional parties? So what's your comment on this topic, sir?
Actually, after Karnataka, Telangana has been doing very well. BJP has been doing very well in Telangana. Telangana had good leaders right from the beginning for a long time, for many years actually. In fact, even when Vajpayee ji and Advani ji had lost the elections way back in 80s, when BJP had only 2 seats in the parliament, one of the seats was from Hanamakonda in Telangana. So you can understand that the penetration of Sangha and BJP has been there for a very, very long time. However, traditionally, BJP was an ally with TDP, and so the vote being a junior partner to TDP, they used to get lesser seats, and so the representation also was proportional. But then, what happened was slowly, steadily, their cadre were increasing, their strength was increasing over a period of time. Unfortunately, it may not have increased the way probably people in the rest of the country would have wanted it to, because when you see states in the north, especially like Uttar Pradesh or Madhya Pradesh, or even in the west like Gujarat, you see almost BJP sweeping the whole states. Maybe that is not the case yet in southern states. So Telangana is no exception to it. However, when you compare it with the states of Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, definitely Telangana is far ahead of those states. In the last election in 2019, BJP had won 4 parliamentary seats. One being Secunderabad, second being Nizamabad, third being Adilabad, and fourth being Karimnagar. 4 seats they had won. So that was unexpected because just few months before that, hardly 3-4 months before that, BJP had lost very badly in the assembly elections, and they could only manage one MLA seat from the city, that is Raja Singh. Only one seat they could win, whereas the entire state they lost all the seats. Within 4 months, it was an absolutely big turnout where BJP people voted in favor of BJP. In fact, those people who lost the assembly election, like Bande Sanjay Kumar from Karimnagar and Kishan Reddy ji from constituency in Hyderabad city, so both of them had lost their assembly elections. But then when they contested for parliamentary elections, they won very comfortably. So obviously, Modi ji's sentiment, the image of Modi ji is very strong. And when it comes to the parliamentary elections, people are choosing differently. So this trend has started in 2019 itself. 2014, of course, only Bandara Dattatreya ji was there. And then so what happened was steadily BJP started gaining ground in some of the constituencies. So the biggest victory, if you want to call it, in 2019 was that of Dharmapuri Arvind from Nizamabad constituency, because he had defeated the daughter of the sitting chief minister there, K. Kavita, who is now arrested in the Ghotala case in Delhi liquor scam. She contested from that constituency. Earlier, she used to win from that constituency. But then Dharmapuri Arvind defeated her squarely in that election in 2019. So, of course, she was finally shifted to council, as an MLC. But then you can imagine sitting chief minister's daughter being defeated. That shows how BJP has gained ground in that particular district. In the last assembly election in 2023, also BJP improved its tally compared to 2019, where it only had one MLA, but then it improved its tally to a few more MLAs. The biggest thing there was again that from one of the constituencies contested by the sitting chief minister KCR, BJP defeated him, and one of the BJP candidates won against him. So that was one major thing that happened. However, the same MPs, be it Dharmapuri Arvind or Bande Sanjay Kumar, they lost the assembly elections. So I'm trying to help you understand that the state is voting differently for assembly and differently for parliament. So when it comes to assembly, they are choosing, they chose BRS, or earlier it was called TRS, in 2014 and 2019. But then when it came to parliament, they slowly started shifting their preferences to BJP. Now, you see, after the last election, they completely defeated BRS and they brought in Congress party to rule the state. However, they also gave a good number of MLA seats to BJP, especially, of course, in city, they got only one seat, which is Raja Singh's seat. But they won a few seats in Nizamabad constituency and in Adilabad constituency, where BJP MPs were, they had won in 2019. Now, you see that steady trend across the state is that we will have our own party, be it BRS or Congress. They consider Congress to be a local party. So these two parties, they would probably have it for assembly. But when it comes to parliament, they prefer to vote for Modi and BJP. So the trend has completely shifted, and the voter base of BRS has moved away from BRS significantly for the parliamentary elections towards BJP. And even in Congress also, people who voted for Congress, a lot of them were not traditional Congress voters, but they voted for Congress so that they wanted to defeat BRS. So those voters also are significantly shifting to BJP now. So BJP is now focusing on all those areas. They brought in very senior leaders, very reputed leaders, and people who are very vocal and very visible in the public space. They gave all of them seats. Of course, Kishan Reddy ji, who's the cabinet minister for culture, tourism, Northeast, he is the candidate from Secunderabad constituency. Then they brought in Itala Rajendra. Itala Rajendra, was a very tall leader in TRS. which later became BRS. And because of the family feud, he had to be, they asked him to get out, or I mean, the situation came where he had to leave the party. He joined BJP. He had a choice to go to Congress, but then he joined BJP. And there were some issues because initial adjustments would be there. This is an ideological party, and he came from a typical political party. So the challenges were there. But the party gave him confidence, reposed confidence in him, and then they gave him Malkajgiri seat. See, Malkajgiri seat is the largest constituency in the country, probably in the world, because it has the largest voters in that particular constituency in terms of number of voters, not in terms of size. Probably size, Ladakh probably is the largest constituency in the country. But in terms of voters, Malkajgiri constituency is the largest. And Ital Rajendra is contesting from there. BJP could not win the seat anytime in the recent past, at least in the past couple of decades. But then Ital Rajendra is considered to be a very, very strong candidate. So he has been given the most prestigious Malkajgiri constituency. And again, in spite of losing the assembly elections, Dharmapuri Arvind is now contesting from Nizamabad, and Bandi Sanjay Kumar is contesting from Karimnagar. And Bandi Sanjay Kumar was the president of the party, state party, till a few months back when he was replaced by Kishan Reddy ji. So this is what is happening there. And another very significant name that has been given a seat is Raghunandhan Rao. He is actually kind of comes from the same community as KCR. He has been given Medak constituency. Medak again, there was a toss-up. I mean, potentially BJP was not likely to win, but he is a very, very strong candidate. So he's giving a very good fight, and the chances of BJP winning there are very strong. Similarly, in Mahbub Nagar constituency, DK Aruna ji has been given the seat, and she is actually a national vice president. Already she's in the national politics. She's been with BJP for the past, let's say, about 10 years or so. She's moved from Congress to BJP. She comes from a family which is a political party in that area, and so she has decent chances of winning there. Of course, traditionally the voters have been either towards Congress or to TRS there in that particular area. So, but then this time around, she's hoping that she could win that particular constituency. Similarly, another potential seat for BJP is Chevella, where Konda Vishweshwar Reddy, another very tall figure, he is contesting from there. So potentially, BJP has about 6 to 8 seats where they're likely to win. There are 17 seats in the state of Telangana. Normally, traditionally, the one seat of Hyderabad is always won by MIM, and the toss-up is for the rest of the 16 seats. So this time around, BRS is on a very, very weak wicket. KCR also is not campaigning that much, and in fact, literally after losing the elections, nobody has seen him in public in a big way. So that is because people used to vote for KCR. Now KCR himself has been discredited, so it is very tough for them. And Kavita is in jail. His son KTR probably is not a crowd puller. He's unable to manage that at that level. In contrast, in Congress, Revant Reddy, the current sitting chief minister, is very popular. In fact, the last election probably he won it on his own shoulders. Of course, there was anti-incumbency against KCR, but then he encashed that anti-incumbency. And so Revant Reddy is quite popular. However, as I said, the state is choosing differently for parliament and for assembly assembly constituencies. So it looks like from the count of 4 in 2019, BJP is most likely to get around anything between 6 to 8 in the state this time. But of course, anything is possible. I would not be surprised if they touch even 10. So that's the kind of move that is happening in the state. I start hearing new voices that, some other constituencies probably they are doing better and things like that. So let's see. The alliance with TDP in Andhra Pradesh. Now TDP is also asked to support BJP candidates in the state of Telangana also. Though TDP is not contesting in Telangana, its cadre are there, its leaders are there. They have been asked by Chandrababu Naidu to support BJP. So let's see how this dynamic plays out. As we discussed, in Andhra Pradesh, probably the vote transfer is a challenge there. Would that still be a challenge in Telangana, or they would be successful in transferring the vote to BJP? We have to watch. The Telugu Desam party vote base was traditionally voting for TRS, or which changed to BRS in the last few elections, be it the assembly election or be it the GHMC election and things like that. But now BRS is so weak. So would the TDP cadre vote for Congress is a big question mark, because TDP was formed as an anti-Congress party. So most likely that vote base also is going to shift to BJP. These are all the positives that BJP has. And I think the move of bringing in a very senior leader like Kishan Reddy ji as the president of the party just before elections to calm down any faction issues within the party really helped them. So it looks like they will have a good show in Telangana. If you look at the state as a standalone compared to what it had in 2014, what it had in 2019, probably the number of seats are going to increase and vote share is going to increase. Probably even though they may get 6 to 8 seats, probably they would be runners up in at least 3 or 4 more seats. Maybe they may not win, but they will definitely be in number 2 position. So literally BRS has been squeezed out of the scene, and it is a contest between BJP and Congress this time around. Revant Reddy as chief minister obviously has a task cut out, because he has to prove that he's popular. He has to get some seats. If he doesn't get, probably within the Congress hierarchy, people will start questioning his credibility, and there could be dissidents against him, and he could be kicked out as a chief minister. So probably he has a prestige, his own prestige involved in that. So probably he'll win a few seats. But then, as I said, overall BJP is gained significantly in Telangana.
So Revant Reddy is with Congress. Right?
Yeah. So if it is, let's say, 6 to 8 seats, and Congress gets about 4 or 5 seats, right? We are talking about something like 12 or 13 seats between them. And BRS could get 2 or 3 seats. And then MIM will get the Hyderabad seat. And even in Hyderabad also, BJP has put up Dr. Madhavi Lata. She has become extremely popular after she's been announced, the candidature has been announced. And she's giving a very good fight. And we have seen her videos, we have seen her interviews with Rajat Sharma and, Adalat, and we have seen her rallies, and we have seen she has brought in a lot of traction, a lot of strength. So, but then the local dynamics are completely different. So it is almost near difficult, near impossible for anybody to beat OIC in Hyderabad because of the voter base there. They have more than 50% voter base there. The constituency delimitation was managed by him during Rajshekar Reddy's time. It was a quid pro quo. Hyderabad was left to MIM, and so the Muslims of the rest of the state of Telangana used to vote for Congress. That Muslim vote base was shifted to TRS as a tacit understanding. So MIM always has an understanding of whoever is in the ruling position, either Congress or TRS. So the Hyderabad constituency is very odd in design, because it only picked up all the areas where Muslims are in majority. So obviously, it is very easy for him to win that constituency. And this time around, Congress and TRS have more or less kind of, given up in favor of OIC. And most importantly, MBT is not contesting there. MBT was a big challenger for OIC, for MIM for many years. But then slowly, by intimidation or coercion or by whatever reasons, most of their leaders and cadres were taken away by MIM. Still, MBT is a force to reckon with. They have conceded and they have withdrawn from the race in favor of OIC. So they don't want the Muslim vote to break, and they don't want BJP to win. So Hyderabad is definitely very difficult. And if Madhavi Lata ji wins, it will be a miracle, definitely a miracle. But she's going to consolidate the BJP vote. In fact, just before the election, she ensured a lot of bogus voters from the list were removed. She did her best. But then, unfortunately, that is a dynamic in the constituency. So obviously, they are in majority. So the chances of OIC winning are obviously very high. And even if Madhavi Lata ji loses, she will not be a loser by a huge margin, and she would have given a very good fight.
So MBT is led by which person? Who is leading MBT?
Amanatullah Khan was the one who was doing it, who was running the party. And now there are, the leaders, mostly the major leaders of that particular party are all taken over by MIM now. Majlis Bachao Tehreek is the name of the party. But slowly the entire Muslim space was occupied by OIC with, a threat saying that if our vote splits, the Hindus will gain here. So you have seen his videos, you have seen his campaign.
Yeah.
It's quite rabid, quite radical, and trying to push the binary narrative that Muslims are challenged and he's the savior and whatnot. So that's how the narrative goes. And so obviously he is quite strong in Hyderabad. Though there is not much of a development in the old city, no expansion of roads, no major developments, no major industry or nothing is happening there. But at an individual level, if any voter goes to OIC for any personal problems, he has a huge battery of people who will solve his problem. He has penetration in all the municipal, departments in MCA, GHMC, and everywhere, and in the panchayats, taluks, everywhere. So he, in that sense, whether it is a Hindu or a Muslim, whoever goes to him, their problems get resolved. With one phone call, problems get resolved. So at an individual level, he has a very, very solid, strong voter base. But at an ideological level, we see that he runs this binary. And politically, he is very shrewd politician. He always aligns with whoever is going to rule the state. So he was aligned with TRS. After TRS lost the election in 2023, he shifted his loyalties to Congress. So this is how he runs the show. And there are people who say, the truth behind it is we don't know. They say that he is an ally of BJP in the rest of the country, because he's actually, wherever he contests, he's cutting the votes of Congress, thus helping BJP, be it in Maharashtra, be it in Bihar, wherever he's contesting. So that's one argument people say. I don't want to get into the truth behind it. Yeah, you're saying something.
This is a comment for Rajiv Gandhi and Owaisi both. They both ultimately help BJP, whatever they do.
Rahul Gandhi
And Owaisi both. Whatever.
Correct.
It actually helps BJP, but they are not able to make out what's happening.
Yeah. But see, OIC's game plan is a very long-term strategy. He wants to slowly consolidate the Muslim vote bank behind him. As Congress is diminishing, Congress today it's nothing but a Muslim party, literally. That's how Rahul Gandhi is contesting Wayanad. And they are appealing, even their manifesto, it says that. And Manmohan Singh had said the minorities are the first right on the resources. We know that unfortunately, their vote bank has shrunk to only being a Muslim party today. So OIC is trying to wean that away. And everybody is fishing in the same Muslim vote bank. Even Kejriwal is fishing into it. Everybody is, because there is no space left beyond the Muslim vote bank for these parties. And BJP has taken over the Hindu vote base in a very significant way. So they are struggling in the same vote pool. So OIC is slowly gaining ground. He has got MLAs in Maharashtra, he's got MLAs in Bihar, he's contested in UP, and he's contesting in other states. And in Tamil Nadu, this time he has tied up with AIDMK, which broke away from NDA. Now they have tied up with All India Muslim Ittihad al-Muslimin, MIM. So you see, he is expanding his footprint across the country. At some point in time, he wants to project that he is a representative of Muslims of the country, so that all these quote-unquote secular parties or regional parties, which were like Akhilesh Yadav and all these people who were heavily dependent on the Muslim vote bank, probably the vote bank will shift to OIC. That's the game he's playing. So to be there, he doesn't antagonize the ruling party. Whichever party that rules the state, he will align with them. And he will seek his 7 MLAs in Hyderabad and his MP seat, and the rest of the seats in the state, the Muslims will vote for that party which he aligns with. That's the political strategy OIC goes for, right? So this is roughly the dynamics in the state.
So I am of the opinion, considering the overseas game plan and the Muslim votes and all that, because even in the Muslims community, there are some section marked, it might be minimal and whatever the person I can't say, there are some right-thinking Muslims who are benefited by the government's rule, and they are pro-nations, they are not anti-nations, and they are not so inclined with this radical Islam, so they doesn't favor OSC. So do you think I am right?
Well,
And the
we
vote,
can't say. See,
and
we cannot say just because somebody voted for OIC is an anti-national, because that's a democratic process.
yeah.
In a democratic process, he is owing his allegiance, he's signing the declaration that he respects the Indian constitution and is going through the electoral process by the Election Commission of India. And if people vote for him, we have to accept it as a people's mandate. So we cannot say that it is a people who are not voting for him are patriotic nationalist and people are voting for him are anti-national. We cannot say that. That is his politics. What is Mamata Banerjee doing? Mamata Banerjee is openly pro-Muslims and she stops the Ram Yatras and she doesn't like to hear the word Jai Shri Ram. She arrests whoever shouts Jai Shri Ram. We know what it is. Ram Dhanu she replaced with Rang Dhanu. All that nonsense we know what happened. Same thing with Mulayam Singh Yadav and Akhilesh Yadav.
Yeah.
So why single out OIC?
Yes.
Just because he's a Muslim, we are singling out. So Congress did the same thing. So every party is doing the same thing. And so we cannot, just because OIC is a Muslim, we cannot single him out. But as I said, the population, the percentage of Muslim population who vote for him is too significant. It is definitely more than 90%. So when the rest of the 5, 6%, 8%, they vote to other parties, it really doesn't matter, right? It's too insignificant. For instance, in Karnataka, in the last assembly election, when Congress won that assembly election, defeating BJP, BJP got 2% of the Muslim vote. And JDS got around 2%, 2.5. Between the two of them, they got 5%. 95% votes went to Congress. So that's how the polarization is. Now, what do you want to call these 2.5% votes who have voted for BJP? Do you call them patriots, nationalists? No, we can't. So they're insignificant. They really don't matter, right? So in our electoral system, numbers matter. So whoever has a number is a victor. And here OIC definitely has that number. And maybe in the next delimitation exercise, if the constituency is changed and if the mix between Hindus and Muslims change, probably then it's a toss-up, one cannot predict. In Hyderabad again, the vote share of the party is going down. The vote share of MIM is actually going down. The voting percentage itself is going down. Like all cities, major cities, the voting percentage is generally below 50%, especially metropolitan cities. There could be several reasons behind it. People migrate, people don't vote, it's a holiday for them, whatnot. There are lots of excuses. No major city, all the 6, 7 major cities in the country, nobody registers 50%. Delhi, Kolkata, Mumbai, Chennai, Bangalore, Hyderabad, it's always around that. Max, it will touch 50, 51%, nothing more than that. So is the case with Hyderabad. And it is so all the more important in the old city of Hyderabad. The voting percentage of Muslims is going down. So that is a worry for OIC. But then, as I said, the voters percentage of Muslims is majority there. Obviously, even if the voting percentage goes down, he's going to win it. That's how the situation there is.
Let me rephrase my question. I think I was not unable to put on my point actually correctly. So, what percentage of Muslim overall in the country do you think are inclined to BJP? Roughly,
I would put it between 2 to 3%. Probably BJP will get the vote at any cost. Depends on the local situations. Maybe another 2% can increase. For instance, in Gujarat, Ora community, some of them support BJP. So 2% in Gujarat and other areas could go up. And in some other areas in UP, for instance, there are some pockets where people do support BJP. For instance, in Deoband and other places, BJP has been winning. It is possible, but I would put the total Muslim voter base for BJP should to be around 2.5 to 3%. As a nation, countrywide, it's about 2.5 to 3% and not more. As I said, in selected pockets, it could be. They could be even voting tactically, depending on who the leadership is. Suppose the contestants are really bad for them and they want to defeat them. Probably in short bursts, they could have voted for BJP. But definitely, BJP doesn't get more than 3 to 4% anywhere in the country.
So, despite being benefited by the central schemes, because even the Muslim population has been considerably benefited by the central scheme which the government has tried, honestly, to get them to their pocket actually, whatever support they are giving, and whatever like the triple talaq and all that, whatever the law has been passed. So that has not changed the Muslim population actually, the mindset of
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely. See, the point is two things. You spoke about the benefits they get. Proportionally, they are actually taking more benefits than the Hindus, and when you compare it with the population percentage. But then, when you ask a voter who is getting these benefits but not voting for BJP, he says, "This is my constitutional right. What has BJP done to me? It is my right, and I am taking it." Right? Like any other citizen, I have a right, so I'm taking it. So there's nothing great that I should vote for BJP. So that's the argument they give. Second, with regards to triple talaq, the problem is triple talaq is something which is considered to be an interference in their personal affairs by the BJP, so-called Hindu fascist Hindu party. So that's how it has been portrayed within their community. So the women there again, the progressive women, whether you call them progressive, whether you call them educated women, for them, though they appreciate this triple talaq, law, instant triple talaq. Actually, triple talaq is still there. Only instant triple talaq has been banned. So they may accept that BJP has done something good for them, but still they don't vote. We have seen so-called educated people like Shaila Rashid and so many people are there. I mean, we know how they behave. So they don't consider that to be a benefit for them at all. And the rest of the women who are not that educated, they don't have their own independent voice. Whatever the husband says, whatever the Maulvi says, they all go by it. So it is irrelevant whether BJP does good things to them or tries to reform them. It really doesn't matter. They vote en masse as a voting bloc, and that's where most of these regional parties are able to fish and get the votes. For instance, communists in Bengal always won because of the Muslim votes. Unfortunately for them, the entire Muslim vote shifted to TMC. And so TMC is now winning. So the prospects of non-TMC party winning there is more or less gone because they're consolidated behind TMC. So that's how it happens everywhere. So whether you get triple talaq, you get more laws to refine them, they'll only treat that to be an interference in their affairs, but they don't consider that to be a reformation of their society. That's not how they view it.
So this
Large section.
This is projected by the community, or do you think they still feel like that? So this is an interference.
See, it is they large sections of them go by what their clerics and what their Maulvis talk about and their leadership talk about. So unfortunately, the anti-BJP or you can call it anti-Hindu sentiment has penetrated too deep into it. So for anything and everything, they see anti-Islam move of BJP, and the statements of some of the BJP leaders also doesn't help. And so obviously that is a major issue for them. So for them, what they get, what they don't get, they're not bothered at all. They'll still continue to stick voting as a community. So for them to break that community feeling is almost near impossible. They see that strength in their community. So as a community, when we vote, we get the power to control or power to get what we want or more than what we want among the majority Hindu population. So that's how they are behaving. So it's very difficult to unshackle them. In fact, why blame only Muslims? There are communities, for instance, Yadavs, en masse, they vote only for, Samajwadi Party. You are unable to break them away. Similarly, in Karnataka, Lingayats vote en masse, Ukkadigas vote en masse. So that's a story in across the country. So Muslims have become a community, and they are voting irrespective of the benefits they get. They continue to vote en bloc based on what their community leaders ask them to do it. It doesn't matter. It cuts across the lines of education status of the people, whether they're highly educated, whether they're not educated. Generally speaking, they would go against the BJP.
So do you think this is a big challenge for India as a nation and the democracy?
Well, yes, it is a challenge for BJP because over a period of time, you will have to work on them, and you will have to somehow try and convince them that they are not a threat to them. Because every election, again, the threat is thrown at them, saying, BJP आएगा तो आप खत्म हो जाओगे. They'll change the constitution. आपको नस्तो नबोध कर देंगे. What not? Lot of nonsense is spewed against BJP. So, but it has not happened. Vajpayee's rule, nothing happened. Modi ji's 2 terms, nothing happened. Third term also, nothing is going to happen. And he is very clear, Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, what he is propagating. So I think over a period of times, the Muslim voters should slowly start realizing that they need to look at what the benefits they're going to get when they vote for a certain party. For instance, if they vote for Congress this time, who knows, Congress could come and take away their wealth. Of course, Congress said they're not going to take away the wealth of minorities, they said. But we don't know what nonsense that could come upon them. If the development doesn't happen, if they're in serious pain, then what happens to their future? So they need to look at it as a citizen and not as a Muslim. I think that change has to come from there. And BJP also has to invest in trying to bring that change over a period of time.
Thank you so much. I have no time left, so this is less than a minute. So thank you, viewers. I am closing this session, and we'll be soon back with the continued discussion. And I have more questions for Giridhar Mamidi ji. Thank you, Giridhar Mamidi ji. Thank you for your time. So I am coming back
Namaste.
in 5 to 6 minutes.